There's a tiny hole at the top of every lollipop stick. You've stared at it your whole life, and the only reason your candy is still attached to that stick and not on the floor is because of that little hole. Take a Tootsie Pop, a Dum Dum, a Chupa Chups. Basically anything mass-produced. Pull the candy off the stick. Look at the very top, where it was buried in the candy. There's a small hole punched right through it, or a tiny notch, sometimes both. Most people who notice it assume it's a manufacturing defect, or if they remember it from childhood, they assume it's the famous breathing hole, the one that's supposed to keep you alive if you swallow the stick whole. It's not a defect, and it's only sort of about breathing. The real story starts on the factory floor. Lollipops are made by pouring hot, syrupy candy into molds. We're talking around 300 degrees Fahrenheit, liquid sugar, glucose, citric acid, food coloring. The whole thing is basically lava. As it cools, it shrinks and hardens into the smooth, glossy shape you eat. But that creates a problem. If you stick a smooth piece of paper or wood straight into hot candy and let it cool, you don't actually bond anything. The candy contracts. The stick stays the same. Once the lollipop is fully cool, the candy has a perfectly stick-shaped tunnel inside it. And the stick is just sitting in there. A kid pulls. The candy comes off. They cry. So the engineers who designed these molds did something simple. They drilled a hole right through the top of the stick. Now when the candy gets poured in, some of it actually flows through that hole. As it cools, that little plug of candy hardens inside, locking the stick to the candy, mechanically, permanently, like a wooden anchor in concrete. Pull on it now and the candy doesn't slide off. It has to break that plug, and the plug doesn't want to break. That's the whole reason the hole is there. It's an anchor. But here's where it gets interesting. Around the same time the modern lollipop took off, regulators in the US and Europe started tracking pediatric choking incidents. Round candy on a stick is a kid's favorite thing in the world. It's also one of the most efficient choking shapes ever invented. So someone had a quiet, slightly grim idea. Make sure that if a kid does swallow the whole lollipop and the stick lodges sideways in their throat, air can still pass through it. A solid stick blocks the airway. A stick with a tunnel running through the middle doesn't. That's why most lollipop sticks aren't just hollow at the top. They're hollow all the way through. The same hole that anchors the candy is what keeps a kid breathing in the worst-case scenario. Now here's the catch. You'll notice some lollipops don't have a hole. They use a notch instead, a little groove carved out of the top of the stick. Same physics, slightly different shape. The candy still flows in and locks. The choking safety still works because the design accounts for it elsewhere. It's an evolution, not a downgrade. So that little hole at the top of every lollipop stick is pulling double duty. It's the only reason the candy is attached at all. And it's a quiet piece of pediatric safety engineering that's been working in the background for decades, every time a kid runs around the house with one in their mouth. Next time you finish a Dum Dum, look at the empty stick before you toss it. That hole isn't a defect. It's the entire reason any of this works.